Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a quick look at making grass tufts for your bases, dioramas and layouts. I'll see you after this. Tufts are a great way to add detail, character and interest to your model bases, dioramas and terrain layouts. There's a dizzying array available from a number of manufacturers including Gamers Grass, Army Painter, Warlord Games and more besides. The choice is endless and they can give great interest to your displays. The only downside is if you're going to use a lot of them on a large layout or diorama, it could get rather expensive. So there are options to make your own. In this case, I'm going to demonstrate using the Static King from Woodland Scencis. There are various static grass applicators in the market. This is the one that we have in store and I have personally, so it's the one I'll be able to demonstrate to you today. There's also ways to make your own, and I've seen some DIY videos, so if you're that way inclined and tech savvy or whatever, then certainly check out some YouTube videos. There's bound to be some available. But in the meantime, here's back to how we can use the Static King to make our own tufts. First up, please excuse the state of my t-shirt. I always wear old clothing when I'm doing crafting so I don't get paint or glue on good clothes, so I hope you can rock with that. Thanks. So what I have here is a metal tea tray, and I also have some baking paper. Please note this is baking paper, it's not greaseproof paper and it's not sandwich paper. I'm going to use some blue tack, which is like a sticky tack material, to attach the paper to the steel tray, and once I've got that in place we can then start adding some glue to it. And the glue I'm going to use is fast drying basing glue by Geek Gaming Scenics. I've put it in a small bottle here just to make it easier to use. The great thing about this glue is it doesn't fully dry, it stays tacky, and that's going to be wonderful later on when we come to apply the tufts to our layouts. Here I'm just going to dab glue to whatever size I want to make the tufts onto the paper. And as well as dots, you can make other shapes as well, like long lines as I'm doing here, for example down the middle of cardways and trackways and such like. And here's my Static King. You can see it's well used. I have it preloaded with, I think it's 4 or 6 mil length static grass here. The top just pops off and then you can load the hopper there with the material. And the Static King has a probe, and it's this which generates the field, which gets our static grass to stand upright. I'm going to clip that to that metal tray, and once it's in place we're ready to go. The device has got a on button on the side, and once it's on a nice little light pops on as well so you can see it's active, and it's simply a matter of shaking the tufts out of the machine over the glue until it sticks in place. The only thing you have to watch when you're using it is your cables don't then drag into the area that you've got the glue and things, otherwise you can end up in a right mess. But if you use a bit of dexterity and keep your hand and the cable out the way, you can rock on. And just keep working away across the board until you've got the entire area thoroughly covered. By the end, I've used the entire hopper full to make sure the tray is covered. Don't forget to turn off when you're done, and then we can put that aside to dry. And here's one I made earlier. And once everything is dry, we can then tip the rest of the grass off for use again in the future. Just shake it off the paper area or use a brush or something to sweep it off with, and then you'll have a pile of static grass you can use again. And once that's done, our paper sheet of Tufts is ready to start applying to our layout. Here's a wargaming terrain tile of a swamp I've been working on, and here's how we can start applying our Tufts directly to it. Now this is where the tacky nature of the basing glue comes into effect, because the Tufts will stick directly to the layout without needing any further glues or adhesive. Just put them into place and give them a prod down with your finger and they're in place. Done. Job done. Easy. Must admit I quite enjoy this phase. You can rock it across your layout in moments without having to keep picking up glue bottles. It's great stuff. Here's some close-up images of the Tufts in place. Hope that helps you see how they've got on the board. And once you've got Tufts figured out, you can then move on to doing things like making your own flowers and shrubs. Here I've got some Tufts as from before, but this time we're going to stick onto them some powders from Woodland Scencis, which will give us coloured flower effects, quite appropriately called flowers. It comes as a packet of 4 different colours to make your own flowers. Simply dab some of the fast drying basing glue onto the top of your Tufts and then sprinkle on the powder and put it aside to dry. And once dry and you've shaken off the excess powder, your flower Tufts are done and ready to add to your layout as before. And you can do the same technique using fine leaves to make shrubs. These are leaves from Noch and they're applied in the same way with the fast drying basing glue. And once the glue is dried and the excess leaves are shaken off, here's our shrubs complete. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll put some links into the description below of the products that I've used. And once again, please like, share and subscribe. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithms. And we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.